BookTube. So, welcome to another reading vlog. In this one, we're going to be reading Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. It just recently came out. Well, actually, I don't think it's recently anymore. I think it came out June 1st and is now the 20th. But whatever, we are going to read it. Being on time with these trends is overrated. I think people are enjoying it. I think it has like 4.2 average rating on Goodreads, so it's had some pretty good reception. It's been on the bestseller list the 2 weeks it's been out. I'm super excited for it. If you have not followed this channel, you know that I read Nicola Yoon's first debut book, Everything, Everything, and I just didn't enjoy it, but I definitely saw the potential for me to enjoy one of her works. So here we go. I have not read The Sun Is Also a Star. I'm going to eventually. But yeah, here we go. It's not terribly long. It's like 280 or so pages. So hopefully we fly right through it. Let's get right into reading. Alright, so I'm now 47 pages into Instructions for Dancing. And I am enjoying this way more than I thought I was. I'm actually enjoying it. So we follow this girl named Evie, whose parents have divorced, and she, out of her entire family, is taking it harder than anyone else. Her mom doesn't really want to talk about it, and her sister doesn't really know the reason they divorced, and she's just also moving on with it. But Evie is just not able to. She's grown up reading these romance novels of these perfect happily ever after marriages and relationships, and she always thought that her parents' relationship would be the same. And so to see them divorce has hit her pretty hard. And so we follow her as she contemplates giving these romance novels away. And so one day, he goes to the library to donate these romance novels. Until she figures out Sunday. I don't know how she didn't realize it was Sunday before she decided to leave, but whatever. We'll gloss over it, right? And so then she instead finds herself at this like donation spot that this mysterious woman has set up, where she can just donate her romance books. And so she donates them, and she's about to leave when the woman is like, well, if you donate books, you have to take one back. And so she takes this book called Instructions for Dancing, and she takes it back, and then she goes back to her house. She sees her sister with a boy, someone else named Ben, and right when she sees them, she suddenly has this vision of how they're going to break up, of like the beginning of the relationship and like how they're going to break up. And she thinks nothing of it. She moves forward, and then her sister goes out to the beach. Her sister comes back, and she broke up exactly the way that Evie envisioned it. I cannot wait to see where that goes. That is just crazy. And so she goes to school the next day, and her friend is like, do it again, do it again. And she tries, and in the beginning she's not able to. And then something happens, and then he looks to this couple, and she sees a vision again. So then her friend tells her to look at where the book Instructions for Dancing came from, and go to that spot. And I think that's where I left off. She goes there, she meets this boy named X, just broken up with someone, and she says hi, and then she goes. Yeah, I'm just enjoying this way more than I thought I was going to. So yeah, as you can see, like this book is very interesting. I cannot wait to see how she meets X again, because when she met X, his name is Xavier, but he goes by X. She instantly liked him, but then she left, so we'll see where that goes. Alright, so I'm now 171 pages into Instructions for Dancing, and I'm still really enjoying it. We've definitely gotten more into Evie and X's relationship, which I think is really cool. And it's just written in that Nicola Yoon style that I loved about Everything, Everything. The chapter titles are just great, and it's very natural seeing the progression. And I think they both work really well together, and I love seeing their interactions. It's great. But I think Nicola Yoon has also not neglected like the superpower. We've definitely seen it, definitely in the case of Sophie and Cassidy, seeing how their relationship ends up. I knew that was going to come, and I really wanted to see how Yoon was really going to, like, was she really going to go into this, or was she just going to half-heartedly do it because she, like, set that up as a promise in the story? But she's really going into it. And seeing Evie have to, like, talk to them with knowing how they'll end up, it was very very tough. I think Yoon really developed this concept really nicely. Like, and I think X said this in the story, how even though she knows how it's going to end up, shouldn't she live? No, was it X or was it Martin? Anyway, she should still live in the moment, because these moments don't come all the time. Like, she should live in this moment where they are all still friends and where this is something new, without thinking about the future. I do think it's kind of hypocritical, and she's definitely noticed this, how she's going out with X, when she's been saying all this stuff about heartbreak and doing this to Sophie and Cassidy. But she's definitely noticed this, and I think it's a very interesting conflict. The scenes with her dad, or was it just one scene? Seeing them, I think it was definitely scenes. Those were very powerful. I think it was done really well. Yeah, that's where we are at in the book. And, seeing, also Martin, great character. We see Martin. If X and Evie doesn't work out, Evie and Martin, yes, 100%. And seeing Evie and X work on the song lyrics was really great and fun and just entertaining. I loved that. It was great. But yeah, let's get back to reading. I think the next time I'll update you, I'll probably be done with the book. So let's hope that these last, I think I have like 100 or so pages remaining to this book service, because I definitely feel like this is the type of book that would not be 280 pages or whatever it is. Like, I feel like this is a book that should be a little longer than that, but we'll see how she ends it. I think Yoon typically does like having those shorter books. I mean, 280 pages is not short, but compared to typical YA, it's shorter. So, yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so I have finished the book. I actually finished it yesterday, but I didn't get to update you yesterday because there was a lot going on. But guys, I loved this book. What? I did not expect to like it as much as I did, especially, you guys know I did not at all like everything. But oh my god, did this book deliver. It still had everything I loved about everything, right? Like the writing style, the creativity of the titles, and just the feel of Nicola Yoon's books. It still had all of that. I did feel like the writing style was a little bit more descriptive, and a little less surface level, which definitely lended more to me liking this book, because I typically do like more complex lyrical prose. I also didn't really like about everything was the ending, right? It's one of my least favorite endings to a book ever. And so going into this book, I saw that it had about the same length, especially nearing the end. I was like, how is she going to end this all succinctly? And I was like, that is the ending she chose. I just did not think I was going to be satisfied by the ending, but I loved it. Like, it's like fantasy kind of supernatural power that Evie has, that Nicola Yoon set up, was explained to a point that it needed to be, right? I mean, obviously this book isn't a fantasy. It just had that little fantasy element to get the story going, and that just was the backdrop of the story, but really wasn't the most important part. And so at the end she explained it. She kind of gave it the story and the resolution that it needed to, and I was really satisfied with how she did that. But also from like the contemporary standpoint, with all of the characters, I think she gave them all really nice endings, especially considering what we learn about X, and how she chooses to react to that and continue to move forward from that. I thought that was really beautiful, and it really showed how much Evie grew through this book, because I think what's really interesting to consider is that, like, if that same thing happened to Evie as she was in the beginning of the book, she would not have had that same reaction. And so you could definitely see that Evie grew a lot through this book, because she was most definitely put through it emotionally, not really physically, but very emotionally put through it. So it definitely was really cool that she grew. I just loved her personality. She was such a great main character. I also obviously loved X. Just how can you not? A great character, person, and I just loved Evie and X's relationship and so many of the scenes that they had together. Her going to see his band, them writing the lyrics together, Tipsy Philosophicals. I loved that scene. So I loved the characters. I also loved that we had some queer representation with Sophie and Cassidy, so that was great, and I really liked how that relationship progressed, and I think it was really interesting. Obviously, I don't like how it ended, but it was still really interesting. And overall, I feel like Nicola Yoon explored like the supernatural power thing in a very cool manner, and I really, I mean, she's taken a while with this book, and it does hit close to home for her in many ways. So there's definitely a good reason why this book was so emotionally just packed. It all felt so real, and the writing so was good. I flew through this. I just enjoyed every single part of this. I loved reading it. So yeah, I liked the book. I liked Instructions for Dancing. I did not think I was gonna say that, but there it is. I gave it 5 stars, obviously. I haven't done any negative thing about it. I don't think it's like an all-time favorite because it's just like when I finish a book, there's something about it that will push it there for me, and there wasn't in this book. Like, it was great, right? There's nothing like fundamentally wrong about it. Maybe she should have explored the power more. Maybe she shouldn't have been so like she shouldn't have forced the be in the moment, carpe diem kind of message. Those are like really minor things at the end of the day. Maybe it should have been longer. I feel like this book was it deserved another 100 pages as opposed to books that don't deserve 100 more pages and go for way too long. But anyway, yeah, I really like this book. Thank you for joining me in this vlog. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and I'll see you next time with another video. I loved Instructions for Dancing.